Hello everyone and welcome to this little video. I'm discussing the Elder Scrolls Online, which is releasing soon, fairly soon, a couple of weeks now. It releases, so this is a little video with where I explain my concerns for the Elder Scrolls Online. I have played it, in a couple of the beta weekends now. Don't know whether to pre-order it yet, I'm still undecided. But these are a few of the concerns, and this is really the reasons why I haven't pre-ordered it. The biggest thing that I have to say about the Elder Scrolls Online is that it seems to suffer from a little bit of an identity crisis. The reason for this is that Elder Scrolls games and MMOs tend to sit at the opposite ends of kind of the spectrum of RPGs. They're very, very different games. A typical MMO and a typical Elder Scrolls game. We'll talk about that. An Elder Scrolls game that you would expect is you get to explore the entire world without any boundaries really. There's really no boundaries. If you look at Skyrim, for example, you can, once you finish the opening little prologue quest, you can explore the entire world that they've created. There is no real boundaries to that. There's nothing stopping you. MMOs, on the other hand, have very, very predefined boundaries. You know, Zone A is level 1 to 10. Zone B is level 10 to 20. You cannot go from Zone A at level 1 and play in Zone B because you would just get absolutely destroyed. There is a very, very sort of closed in, very narrow world that an MMO is. You might think it's a big world, but at low level it's a very, very small confined world, and this is true in the Elder Scrolls Online. Again, everything is defined by level, fairly typical of an MMO. You've got your starting zone, you've got your high level zone. All the mobs in the area are level appropriate or level locked to that zone. You're going to fight level 10 mobs in a level 10 zone and level 50 mobs in a level 50 zone. This it's one of the exploration was one of the best things about Elder Scrolls games. I mean, that was one of the reasons you played it. I played Skyrim for well over 120 hours, and I don't think I ever really got very far in the main story. I think I went to the throat of the world and spoke to the Greybeards. That's how far I got in the story. And then I just thought, screw it, I'm joining the Thieves Guild. I'm going to steal stuff. That was that was my Skyrim experience. And I enjoyed myself. I spent 120 odd hours and I really enjoyed it. I didn't really care that I wasn't doing the story. I was having fun in that game. It was excellent. It was fun. It was one of the best RPGs of the last generation. Now, Elder Scrolls Online, you kind of have to do certain quests, or you won't really level. You won't have enough levels to reach the next zone, meaning you'll just get destroyed by the enemies. So, again, not a fan of this. It's fairly typical. I know that every other MMO has this, but I would have really liked to have seen the Elder Scrolls Online do something a little different. Maybe have the level cap fairly low, like about maybe level 30 or something. That's your end content at level 30. So you do a little linear story. It takes you maybe 20 to 30 hours to complete. Your level capped at 30, and then it's end game. Then you can explore the whole world at end game. Everything else is level 30, we'll say. It's level 50 in Elder Scrolls Online, but I would say that you'd want a really short leveling experience then, and then just give you the whole world, give you the keys to the kingdom and say, off you go, explore. I would love to see that in the Elder Scrolls Online, but unfortunately it's just the old, this is a level 30 zone, are you level 30? No, go away. That's what it is. My other concern is, of course, the pricing model. As you probably heard, it is going to be available for full retail price plus a monthly subscription fee. I really think this is going to be off-putting to a lot of potential buyers. And if you look at the the game, and if you look at its main rivals, I wouldn't class World of Warcraft, to be honest, as its main rival. I don't think it's going to make a dent in World of Warcraft sales, to be honest with you, or sub numbers. It's not going to make a dent. Anyone who thinks this is going to kill WoW is just deluding themselves. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think it's going to make a dent. I don't think it's going to really affect games like SWTOR, to be honest, because again, SWTOR has, you know, SWTOR is fairly stable these days, and has a fairly stable following of subscribers these days. SWTOR is pretty healthy, despite what some people read on gaming websites and other. It's fairly healthy right now. But if you look at as a reticule-based combat game, because that's what it is. If you look at the two other big reticule-based combat games out there, they are Neverwinter and Terra. Now, what do those two games have in common? They're both free to play right now, as of this recording. Well, they're not going to go anywhere. They're not going to change back to a sub thing. So they're both free to play games, and this is at full retail price and the monthly sub. So I don't know. I mean, it would be nice to see, or you can buy the Imperial Edition for, what is it? I can't remember how much it costs, but it's an insane price. They should really give you 3 months sub with that, I think. If you want the Imperial Limited Edition one, you know, it's a lot of money. It's about £90 in the UK. If you're gonna get that, give us more. You know, give us. Yeah, okay, you get to play as the Imperial class. Yeah, that's a great idea. Locking an entire race away behind a paywall, that's a smart move. We can discuss that. That's another concern that you have. It may end up being pay to win, even with that, and it is going to have a cash shop as well. But yeah, £90, and it's $89.99, and you're going to get, what, the Imperial class, you're going to get some other goodies, but I would like 3 months sub with that. I think that would be a real incentive to go buy it. Other than that, it's whatever the retail, whatever you pay in whatever country you're in, whatever you pay for games, full retail price it's going to be. I wish they would discount the price, because again, that's going to put off potential players, I would imagine, especially with on the PC market, where there's so many free-to-play games right now. So many good free-to-play games. Free-to-play does get a bad reputation, but there are so many good free-to-play games. So I think that's another reason to maybe hold back on the price. I mean, why can't they give the game for free and pay a monthly sub? Like, you download the client for free, but hey, you want to play it? Pay a sub. Why do you have to pay the retail price? I guess it's to keep retailers in the loop, I guess. But why can't they sell time cards or something like that? I mean, you can sell time cards through retailers. You just buy the game box, and it just comes with a time. All it is 30 days sub anyway. It's a disc and 30 days sub. Essentially, the disc is worthless. It's the 30-day sub that you're really paying for, and the license key. But why can't they just give away the license key for free and have us pay just a monthly sub, or have it on a sort of thing, subscribe for 6 months, get the game free, something like that. Pay for 3 months in advance, you pay a reduced cost. If you want to pay full retail price, you get the month. It'd be nice to see a staged pricing system in these games. Right, so leading me on to this, and this is some personal experience that I've had playing the beta. I felt that level progression was too slow. And I'll explain what I meant. Level 1 to 5 is pretty quick, as you'd expect. But I spent a long time between levels 7 and 8. I think I spent about 4 hours at level 7. I was doing a lot of quests, and I noticed I'm not really getting... Am I getting XP for these quests? I was thinking, am I getting XP for killing mobs here? Because my weapons were leveling up, my armor was leveling up, but then my XP bar, my total XP bar, was barely moving. I don't know if this was something that... It seemed to be an issue in the earlier betas. I don't know if it's still an issue in some of the later ones. I didn't play in the last one, unfortunately. I didn't have time to. I was playing SWTOR because it was double XP weekend. But I didn't like the pace of leveling, to be honest with you. Level 1 to 10 you want to get over with fairly quickly, because it can be quite annoying using the same 2, maybe 3 abilities all the time. We want to get some progression and we want to get some abilities. So that kind of put me off. You know, if you look at SWTOR or WoW, you can go from level 1 to 10 in a couple of hours, maybe, depending on whether you've got heirloom gear or legacy XP boosters in the case of SWTOR. You can get there, you know, a couple of hours, you can at least get to level 10, and the game opens up a little bit. I would like to see that in Elder Scrolls. I'd like to see us get at least to level 10, at least get us some PvP. Get some PvP early, get maybe a dungeon early on. That's one of the things I love about SWTOR, is the early level pacing is fantastic, I have to say. Levels 1 to sort of 20 are probably the best leveling experience. Then you get to 30 and it just goes off a cliff, your leveling experience. But yeah, I'd love to see that in the Elder Scrolls Online, a similar system to that. I like the way it introduces new abilities and new things in SWTOR. I'd love to see a bit more of that in Elder Scrolls. I just think it's a little too slow at the moment. And the other issue I have is that this is a next generation console game as well, and it doesn't look like a next gen game. I have to say, it doesn't. It looks like Skyrim on a budget, to be honest. You're going to be really disappointed if you're thinking about getting this on Xbox One or PS4. Be ready to be disappointed. It doesn't look as good as Skyrim does. So yeah, your PS3 or Xbox 360 game it's going to look worse than that. Again, this is down to it being an MMO, really, and it's going to surprise a lot of people. I think some people are going to be a little bit surprised. The lighting effects are excellent, and some of the instanced areas, like the starter area, is fantastic. The area you start in this little prison. Of course, it's an Elder Scrolls game. You're always in prison or bound in some way, and you always get released from prison. That area looks excellent. Then you go to the sort of world areas, the sort of hub world areas, and it just looks very plain looking. It's not a bad looking game, I would say, to be honest. It's not one of the worst looking games. I mean, it looks okay. It looks slightly better than Oblivion, but not as good as Skyrim. But the thing you'll notice is the contrast between the instanced areas and the sort of non-instanced areas. Obviously, they've had to make a compromise here, because in instanced areas you're the only person in the game, whereas in a non-instanced area there are hundreds of people running around. So I guess that's the compromise they've had to make. With that is that the graphics, there is a contrast there, just be aware of that. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Should I pre-order it? Shouldn't I? I think I'm more hyped for WildStar. I've been playing that in beta at the moment, and I've got a lot to say about that. I'll do a video on WildStar later on. And I have to say, the footage I'm using for this is Skyrim, because, again, I was going to play it in the beta when the NDA was lifted, but again, I didn't have time. I was leveling my sorcerer in SWTOR, so apologies for that. The gameplay footage you're looking at is Skyrim on the PC. So again, we will get, maybe I'll pre-order it, I don't know, I'm still on the fence. We'll have to look at WildStar next time. We'll do our concerns about WildStar video soon. WildStar's not launching for a few weeks now, it's launching in June. We'll do it closer to release. Might get, if I do get Elder Scrolls, I will do some gameplay footage, and I will do some thoughts on the release version. But I probably won't get it at launch, to be honest with you. Learned my lesson, MMOs at launch, from Final Fantasy XIV. Never buying another MMO at launch after that debacle. So that is all for this. If you have any concerns as well of the Elder Scrolls, feel free to share them. If you think I've missed anything, any important points, if you're going to buy it, tell me why, tell me what it is that's appealing, you know, what you find appealing about ESO. So thank you for joining me, and goodbye.